So today we're going to be going over problems from the quiz. I have a few. Honestly, I feel like the quiz, by the time we've kind of reviewed so much of this, like just learning how to do it and then some examples yesterday, I'm hoping that the quiz is pretty easy peasy for you guys. I feel like the problems that I have that I pull from it, I don't try to pull easy ones, but I feel overall they're kind of pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and let's get going with this. Grab some colors. So first one, what is the product? Like, look at what they gave us to find the product for. They went ahead and it gave us a, first of all, can I multiply them? Let me double check. This is going to be a 2 by 1. So, sorry, let me rephrase this. This is going to be a 1 by 2. And this is going to be a 2 by 2. So since these values in the middle are the same, since they're the same, then we can multiply them. My new dimension is going to be a 1 by 2. So I know my answer is going to be a 1 by 2. My answer has to be a 1 by 2. So I could automatically cross these out because these are 2 by 1. So I know one of these two is my answer just because I know what the dimensions are. Now let's go ahead and do the work. So I like to go ahead and I like to circle my values here because I know I'm multiplying its rows and I'm going to be multiplying it to the columns. So it's rows by columns. So there's one column and there's my second column. So rows by columns. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my matrix. Again, I know it's going to be a 1 by 2. So this is going to be 4 times my negative 2. So 4 times my negative 2 plus it's going to be 2 times 7. So 2 times my 7. So there's my first term. The second term is going to be, again, my 4 and 2, but now we're going to the second column for the second column over here. So it's going to be a 4 times 5, and then it's going to be plus, and this is going to be 4 times my negative 1, and I could go ahead and clean it up. So again, I like to just kind of do some of the math above it instead of rewriting it each time. So I'm going to just go ahead and I go, okay, well, this is going to be a negative 8, and this is going to be 2 minus what is that, a 7, that's going to be plus my 14. So this is going to be a 20 minus 4. So my solution is going to be negative 8 plus 14 is going to be a positive 6. This is going to be a 16. Oh, my mistake. 4 times 5. This is a 2 right there. I wrote it as a 4, so then I multiplied it wrong. So 4 times 5, 2 times negative 1. I wrote that as a 4. That should be a 2. So make sure you don't make silly mistakes like I just made right there. So this will be a 8. This would be an 18. And that matches up. So learn from me. Don't make those silly little mistakes. All right, my next one. All right, so my solutions are all the same dimension. So I already know it's going to be a 2 by 2. I can also look at it. So for this one, again, rows. So it's the first matrices, we're looking at the rows. The second one, we're looking at the columns. So rows by columns. Make sure that you, again, I like to circle these to help me keep it straight. So make sure that you are always doing rows to the columns. Rows, columns. When you talk about an element, it's rows, columns. That's the same pattern throughout everything we do with it. So I know it's going to be a 2 by 2. So let's go ahead and let's look at this. So I'm going to have my first row. First column is going to be 1 times my 2. So 1 times my 2 plus it's going to be 3 times my 3. So 3 times my 3 plus, then it's going to be 1 times my 4. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the second column. Still first row, second column. So it's going to be 1 times my negative 2 plus 3 times my 5 plus 1 times 1. There you guys go. Then I go to my second row, first column. So second row is going to be negative 2 times my 2 plus 1 times my 3 plus 0 times my 4. And if you guys just want to put 0 there when you do it, it doesn't matter. It's going to zero out. So then I go second row, second column. So I'm going to be in the second row, second column position for that. So it's going to be negative 2 times my negative 2. It's going to be 1 times 5. That's a negative right there, just to make sure I don't forget it later on. And then 0 times my 1. And then we'll go ahead and we'll clean it up. So again, I like to just clean it up right there a little bit. I know that this is just going to zero out, zero out. This is going to be 2 plus 9 plus 4. This is going to be negative 2 plus 15 plus 1. This is going to be negative 4 plus 3. This is going to be a positive 4 plus 5. So my solution is going to be, this is going to give me a 15. This is going to give me a 14. This is going to give me negative 1 and a 9. And there we go, all done. Again, if you guys have questions that go too quick, please, please, please let me know. You master multiplication, you'll have a good foundation for the rest of the unit. All righty, go ahead and flip. All right, so each column in the matrix represents a vertex of the triangle. So this is points on the graph. So remember when we talked about it, this would be like point A of the triangle, B and C. So each of these would be the points. And then going across, these would be our, this row would be our X values, and this would be our Y values, the coordinates. So if Rosa scales the triangle by finding 3t, so 3 times our matrix T, what are the vertices of the scaled triangle? So she's going to enlarge it by a factor of 3. That's what that scale means. So if we want 3t, it's going to be 3t is going to be 3 times my matrix T, which was 0, 0, 3, and 0, 3, 0. And then all we need to do is multiply that to each and every term. Remember, if it's the out in front, it's almost like a coefficient. It goes to each one of them, though, every element inside. So it's going to be 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 0 is 0. All I need to do is multiply 3 to each one of these values in here. So this tells me then that the new points for the vertices would be at 0, 0, 0, 9, and 9, 0. And that matches up with this last one right here. Not too bad, right? And our last one just says, what is the product? Remember, this is a scalar value again. This is just what we would call a scalar. So vocabulary, knowing that that's just that number out in front. So again, this is going to go to each and every term. Even better is they're all even. So when I take half of it, it's going to be nice and pretty. So all it's going to be is half of 12 is 6. Half of 64 is 32. Half of 78 is 39. And half of 30 is 15. And we're done. So that's going to match up with this one right here. Again, we took 1/2 of each one of these values, and that's all you need to do. Do I have any questions? Questions for the day? Not too bad, right? The first ones were, the most difficult things that you'll have would be one like this. Something like this, where you're multiplying them like that. Other than that, I mean, you guys also have your calculators you can check your answers with within. If it doesn't show up when you're taking the quiz, then I think it does. So I think you have the calculator options when you do the quiz, but you could go back to your assignment. Once you open it up, it's in the background. You could keep it open if you want to double check anything. Otherwise, you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye, dear. Have a great day.
You too.